Hello, this is David Corlett with VIPRE Security Group, and welcome back to our Product Management Podcast. We've got something really exciting to show you today. It's not a feature you can get quite yet, but it's something we're building in our product right now. Soon you'll see it in our endpoint solutions, and not too long thereafter in some of our other products. This feature is artificial intelligence, and we're going to leverage the capabilities of artificial intelligence to help you understand what's happening in your environment and the threats you face, and help you with your EDR investigations. So let's start with a quick use case. We're going to start with looking at an incident, and let's say we have an incident like this one has some kind of potentially unwanted application. If I drill down on the details of this instance, I see it's some kind of a monetize. Well, what is this? Well, with the artificial intelligence, which shows up as a little widget down here, I can simply come in and ask, what is a monetize? And after a couple seconds, the AI bot will come back and say, this is a potentially unwanted program. It bundles all the software without their consent. And if you have encountered monetize, you should get rid of it. So it gives you some general information about this particular kind of threat and generally what you should do to resolve it. Let's start by zooming in on a use case that examines an application that someone runs on one of your endpoints. So let's look at this Cure BZC Pantera. And you can see here that there's a command line that's been executed, something to do with PowerShell and an attached script. Well, there's a little question mark here, and if I click on this, it'll bring up the same AI bot, but this time what it's asking is, hey, help me understand what this command line means. Now in this case, it's a PowerShell which is running a script, but it does have a bunch of command line options, including execution policy bypass, and no profile, and hide the window style. So this tells you what this command line means, the use of these parameters, and ultimately the script that was run as a result of this. Now, if you have access to this endpoint, say using a remote shell, you can fetch the script and also ask the AI to give you analysis of what the script does. That's another option. But let's move on to use cases that have to do with URLs. And to show you the power of this, I'm going to dive into a new chat just to kind of restart things. And we're going to ask it to tell me about a URL. Maybe I see this as part of investigation, and I just want to know more about what this URL is. So I might say, is this URL malicious? And what the AI is going to do is going to go check this URL against potential blacklists, and it's going to come back and say, no, it's not found in any blacklist. Nobody knows that this is malicious. But if you look at the last sentence here, it says, if you would like, I can perform a deep link analysis or analyze the file for you. This capability uses the link analysis solution we have built into our endpoint EDR, and I just simply need to say yes. It will go off and do a deep link analysis which executes this URL in a cloud sandbox, attempts to visit the website that's, or in this case, a file that's on the end of it, and then try to determine if it's malicious or not. And indeed, it's identified as malware and a virus, and you should definitely not visit this link. And it does this without any risk to the endpoint of your own endpoint or the endpoint on which an investigation is taking place. Now, to give you another example, if I have a URL like this, is this malicious? Again, it's going to do an analysis, in this case checking as blacklists, and it will say it has been classified as malicious and is identified as a phishing page that may steal Yahoo credentials. Well, this is interesting, but maybe you might think that it has been rendered safe at some point. What can we do to check to see if this URL is in fact still malicious? Well, I can now say, give me a safe link for it. And what this will do is take this link here and convert it into a remote browser isolation link that you can then click on and view the link without any risk, again, to your own system or your own environment. And again, if we bring this link up, you see indeed it does look like a Yahoo login, of course, but it's pages.dev. So it clearly is not actually Yahoo. This remote browser, by the way, is built right into our solution. You can always use this to access URLs safely from within the EDR environment. So the VIPRE AI solution, we've built this as a general purpose investigations toolkit, but we've hooked it up to these other analysis tools that we have at our disposal, including the file and link analysis. As I mentioned before, just like we did with the links, you can give it files. It will go check those using our cloud sandbox. But we will continue to expand the capabilities of the AI solution as we add more capabilities and more power to it. Thank you. Enjoy.